Hey everybody, Rich Lawrence here. Welcome to another episode of Inside Segs. This is episode 6. It's called Play the Game. Now we've been getting some questions on Reddit and a few other places that we thought we covered in the FAQs, but maybe we didn't. But that's what this video is going to address, is a couple of quick questions basically about Segs. Now the big thing that most people are assuming is, in order to play anything in regards to City of Heroes with Segs, you got to have the Segs server installed. Well, yeah, if you want to play on a server, yeah. If you want to run your own server, yeah, you definitely need Segs installed. But if you're looking right now just to kind of hop on one of the public servers that a couple of members of the community have right now, which are basically just test servers, that should be known that those are volatile. What could end up happening is you could basically lose your character. It might not happen, but it could happen, because we're kind of playing with alpha software here, alpha level software. But that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people are recognizing, is that you don't really need the server itself installed if you just want to walk around. I mean, if you want to do it by yourself, in regards to you just want to kind of run around, see what we've been doing, what we've got going on your own private server, yeah. And then you just follow the instructions. If all you're looking to do is just hop on and kind of see where we're at without really installing the server yourself, well, then you can just go into the welcome channel on our Discord chat, and you'll see the IP addresses listed, and just follow the README to install the client from our GitHub page, and you'll be able to get the City of Heroes client, the right one that you need, on, and you'll be able to hop on, and you'll see here on the screen the kind of what you're going to see automatically. So you'll see here when we started up, we logged in, and now our character, our hero, is talking to Officer Flint in the Outbreak training mission. And this is because we have gotten the Lua scripting language working with the server. So we've got a really nice person that is actually doing that scripting for us. This is basically demo content. This is, I mean, I should say they're using, because we really don't have much to do with it. But I mean, they are communicating with us in Discord just to kind of help us out with what needs to be there for them to be able to do what they're doing. But yeah, this script does not come with the Segs server. This is something that's on a separate repository that we do not run. So if you want to be able to play with some of this stuff, you have to get it and install it yourself. Like we said way early on, we're not going to distribute any content originally from NCSoft, so any of the missions or anything like that. So Zofar, I believe, is his name. I don't have it in front of me. I should too. I should. Is the one doing all this for us, as you can see, running around, just running up the street here in Outbreak. He was talking with Officer Flint, and he hit the information box and that. Now he's kind of running up past police drones and other police officers. He's having his character run up to the parking lot there and just kind of talking with different officers. And there's, yeah. And like I said, this is all kind of in the alpha stage, so things can change quickly. But you're kind of seeing now an example of what we've got going on. This is running on version 0.6.0, which was just released, codename Outbreak. You can see here that we've managed to get like the little pop-up scripts and effects happening there, some of the sound effects. You'll see down in the lower right-hand corner, some of the preliminary starting powers are in there. We've got some enhancements and buffs kind of showing up. We've got the chat, so multiple people on the server can chat to each other. We had friends list kind of sort of working, but it's not quite there, so we're still kind of working on that as well. But I mean, you can see here it's running kind of smooth, and now some people are also not seeing the same graphics that we're seeing. Biff, because they are not running Bonk. Yeah, no, bonk is not really software, but swish. All the cool things are popping up here. But yeah, you're. So this is obviously running on an NVIDIA graphics card right now. This is normal, and we addressed this in an earlier episode of Inside Segs. If you have an Intel or Radeon AMD graphics card, the game originally did not come with very good support for it, and it was fixed in a later issue of the game. And we do have a kind of a patch started, but we do need somebody, as you can see here, leveling up right there. We do need somebody who's kind of got some coding skills, that's tenacious and wants to help out. They have an AMD, Intel, Radeon graphics card, anything like that. Wants to get in there and kind of debug it, because it does crash. It does crash things with what we've got right now, and we really do want to get that up and going so everyone can enjoy what we're seeing right now here on the screen. Inspired! We hope that maybe this will inspire somebody to come in. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of stuff pop up with the with questions and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, what you're seeing here now is the enhancements in that. You can level up. There is a slash command where you can level yourself up. Again, this is all just kind of alpha. We're still kind of putting this stuff together and getting it in there. We really don't have a lot of administration kind of tools in there, but you can see right here, we can unlock newer powers as you level up. In the upper right hand corner there, you can see, yep, there's the arrow for leveling up, your endurance, your hit points, all that kind of stuff is all in there. And contacts as well. When we saw a little bit earlier on, touche, powie. I don't know who's coming up with those, but yeah, you can see down there in the lower left there, not all powers are working yet, but we're on top of it. We're working on it. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. I did not make these videos. These were made by Broxon in the Discord chat. He's one of our lead devs. And he was kind enough to do some screen recording for us and send it on over, and so I could put it all together in this nifty little video. I don't really know what you want to call this kind of video, but it's a walkthrough maybe. Yeah, let's just call it a walkthrough. But you'll see some of the slash commands down there in the lower left-hand corner. He's kind of just doing them up so we can see all the pop-up letters and everything. Now there was audio. He gave me these videos. He gave me these videos in a different format, and I tried to convert them, but it looks like the audio didn't come through. But if you've been a long-time player of the game, you remember the sound effects. You remember this. Yep, taking all your enhancements, combining your enhancements to buff them up, and oh man, the feels just watching this stuff. Oh, I love it. The other thing too that you can do nowadays with segs is, and we'll see that in a little bit, is you can zone. So that's one of the other things that we've got going on. We've also got a trading between between players now. You can remember how you used to be able, hey, I got this, what do you got, and kind of go from there. So we can now you can now kind of trade in there as well. But I'm just going to run down some of the quick and dirty laundry list of what's going on. The inspiration tray and enhancement tray is now going. The inspiration tray size changes based on the level. Your def, HP, and endurance inspirations now do their thing. Preliminary power set support. Trade between players of enhancements, inspiration, and influence. AFK warnings and auto logout time, which is customizable now. So you can say how long somebody can be AFK before you log them out for being idle, which is kind of nice. Movement between maps, which I was just talking about a moment ago, being able to switch between all the different zones is is possible. No monorail or anything like that yet. But it's kind of, if you've been on Paragon Chat, it's kind of like that. It's a slash command right now, but we'll be working on some other stuff there as well. Contact dialog from Lua, which is kind of what we've been looking at here on the screen with Brock's talking to Officer Flint and everything. You've been seeing everything kind of pop up. That's all through the Lua scripting. So if you know the Lua scripting language, you can do all this kind of stuff right now. There's no combat, obviously. We don't have AI or anything like that, or a combat system in there. So you're not going to be able to do anything like that. So we're seeing also here on the screen, looks like Broxton is logging in with 2 different characters. So you can kind of see what's going on. And yeah, you can see obviously fell through the map there on the right-hand side. Whee! And then you just get you back on the map there with the stuck with the stuck command. But you'll see here once both sides are logged in, they'll start demonstrating the trading and that kind of thing between the 2 player characters there. So yeah, movement between maps, contact dialog with Lua. Added calls from C++ into Lua for entity interact and on dialog button. That's what we're seeing in regards to when you click on Officer Flint or the POWI, the ZOWI all popping up, that kind of stuff. That's all through the Lua scripting. We can trigger that now, or I should say you can trigger that now if you know the Lua language. And as we get farther into it, as time goes, we'll post links, obviously, to some resources that you can use to start learning the Lua scripting language. I've looked at it a little bit. I know some Python myself, and it doesn't look very hard. It's not very different from Python, and Python is a very readable language once you kind of get into it and you learn the basics of it. But anybody can really learn this kind of programming themselves. And and you can do it by hand if you want, but there's also been talk of just some tools that would let you be basically you could set up NPCs and then have a GUI, an interface that you can use to be able to have the different responses based on different conditions that oh, here's your mission. Okay, you've completed your mission. Okay, here's what Officer Flint's going to say, or whatever, whoever's going to say, that kind of thing. So, all that kind of stuff you can kind of play around with. And you just saw there on the right-hand side the ability to send email to other players. So you can start sending emails to each other in the game and leaving messages back and forth. That's in there as well, which is one of the things I was going to get to here on my little laundry list. So going back to that laundry list, leveling from command and gaining experience, which unlocks powers and increases HP. We saw that a little while ago, how just typing /level put you up to the next level, and you were able to add powers and enhancements and all that kind of stuff that you were given, and or given from NPCs for completing missions and that kind of thing. We've made some improvements on movement. It's still not complete. The long and the short of it is, the TLDR is that the math to us looks okay, but when we apply it into the server, something's off. It's just not right. It's not smooth. It's not working right. We're not where we want to be in regards to our player character having, standing where it's supposed to be, that kind of stuff. So that's the thing we're kind of stuck at. We're trying to figure out what is causing that for us, and we're kind of digging into it where we can. But it's pretty in-depth stuff. It really is. The math, is beyond me, but I'm sure there's others out there that have kind of played around with this kind of stuff, and we're not using. Here's the thing. A lot of people think we're using like Unity or some other type of game engine to do this. No, we're doing this like the original developers of City of Heroes did. We're coding this from hand. We're doing this from scratch. We're not using really any anything like Unity or anything like that. This is all this is all our own stuff that we're doing. Back when the project originally started, like 10, 13 years ago, whatever it is, it's all from hand. So this is all from the ground up. So I mean, that's why we're kind of struggling with the movement aspect of it. Whereas with Unity, all that kind of stuff is already handled. It's already taken care of. Oh, hey, we're flying in front of the Atlas statue in Atlas Park. Pretty nice. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long to get movement nailed down and working. It's there's so many factors. There's velocity, what direction you're heading, and there's just so many things to it that we're just trying to figure out. So you gotta kind of come at it from multiple angles, and it's just basically one or two people looking at it. So if we can get more people looking at it, we might be able to figure out what's going on and why it's not working. And it's a continuing thing. But right now, because what you're seeing is we've turned off the movement part of the server. So basically, the server is just taking whatever the client is sending them and taking it as gospel. Where your location is. You can see here, Broxton is just kind of running around Kings Row right now, and the server just says, "Okay, I'm going with it," and that's why he's able to run on the street and everything else and fly and all of that. If we had turned on the movement part of the server, he'd be rubber banding all over the place. He'd be back and forth, falling through the map and all that kind of thing. So we've basically just kind of turned it off temporarily on the server. You can turn it back on if you want to, but it's really not that much fun running around like that right now. But once we do get that fixed, the authoritative part of the server that controls movement and that's going to be turned on automatically when you install it. But admins, of course, you can turn that kind of thing off if you wanted to, but I don't know why you'd want to. Doesn't make for a very good game. Okay. So getting back to our laundry list, leveling from command and gaining experience, which unlocks powers and increases HP, which we already kind of covered. Hit point regeneration and endurance recovery is in there now. Initial work on buffs sent to the client. So yeah, the buffs and all that. When you go to an NPC and you said yes, I've completed my mission, and we saw that earlier on, and you can kind of see that as you're walking around. Here as Broxton's walking around and all that kind of stuff, what's going on. And then some more stuff. Respawning at the hospital is working. Door animations are up and running, and improvements on the admin application that runs the server. And of course, we were talking about emails. We already had our first little patch, which just patched some bugs in regards to game data and that kind of thing. Some really behind the scenes stuff. But that's essentially what's going on with Outbreak. If you just want to run around and just kind of see where we're at, you don't need to install SEGS itself. You can just, install the client from the link, the magnet link that we have in the README on the GitHub, and you can just kind of run around one of the public servers. If you want to actually see how the server works and kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it, yeah, you can install SEGS by the instructions in the README and just kind of go from there and play around. And you're always you're always able to get help and support through our Discord channel, through the troubleshooting channel, I should say, on our Discord chat. You can always come there and check that out. So, but that's it for this episode of Inside SEGS. Hopefully, I've answered some questions. I've kind of cleared some things up and let you know what's going on. You got to see some footage from the server that how it's working and that kind of thing. And and if you have any other questions, you know where to find us on the Discord chat. You can go discord.segs.io. You can also go to the forums, forum.segs.io. And we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. So thanks for watching this video. We appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you on the chat. And in the meantime, well, let's go hunt, kill skulls.